Hey, World Sand Drag News fans, you can watch every episode of Paddle Talk on the World Sand Drag News YouTube, along with all of our other content, which is badass sand drag racing action. Or you can listen to us on Spotify by searching for Paddle Talk. Check out World Sand Drag News Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well for more content on sand drag racing. Don't forget to check out our website, worldsandragnews.com, for our list of world records, a schedule of events, articles from past races, and much more. Don't forget, buy our sponsor stuff. On today's show, we talk about some major upcoming races like the Aoka hosting the Outlaw season opener for the Outlaw Series. We talk about some world records being broken. We also talk about MRA races at the Panama City, Florida. We talk about Raptor Rally a little bit. And then we have a very, 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 very big surprise at the end of the show. Big news, huge news, absolutely ginormous news for World Sand Drag News. It's huge. You do not want to miss it. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And this episode is brought to you by.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt, coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
All right. Me, Damian, and Isaac are here, and we're going to talk about some upcoming races. Might as well start. Well, actually, let's talk about the crazy rain we're getting. Or excuse me. Oh, my God. I said the word. Oh, I'm going to get shunned. Oh, my God.
You're going to get banned for a week.
Oh, my God. I'm going to get banned from my own page for a week because I said the R word. Mother Nature is just wreaking havoc all over the place. Panama got canceled. I just found that out this morning. We're recording
Panama City, Florida. Yep.
We're recording on Tuesday, the 14th of May, and this episode will probably come out Friday the 17th. But dude, that's crazy. And then news, we actually just found out a day later. This is Wednesday, the 15th of May. And MRA is rescheduled to August 2nd and the 3rd. So August 2nd and 3rd, a little warmer than what they're used to, but the race is still going to happen. They're still going to try to finish out the whole series for the season. So good to see that they found a date that works for them, and moving forward, it should be good for the MRA season all around. And the possible rain for Cleaves, although Mr. Cody Trice's post stating that they're really confident that the track can handle it, and then if they got to push things back, blah blah blah, they can, and they're going to work their asses off to get it done. But you guys just said the Appalachian place was probably about to get rained out too, and then man, I don't know, the rain, or I said rain again. Oh my God, I'm about to get shunned so bad. But yeah, anyway, Damian, what are your experiences with Mother Nature at Cleaves?
Generally fairly positive. Very, very rarely have we ever really had to cancel because of rain. One of the few times was last year. We spent a good few hours physically dragging water off of the track with the old drag system they had there, because now that they use that ripper, if it's really wet, it just turns into wet concrete. Soup, you just spin, and it's real sketchy. But we got it safe enough to where some top eliminator cars were even there that weekend running. So I'm fairly certain we're going to be able to get it to where it needs to be. It just may take more time on Friday, because Friday they're talking possible thunderstorms, possible quarter inch of rain. Saturday, it's not even a tenth of an inch showing. If we get in Friday, we'll be fine for Saturday. But the big thing is when it hits. If it hits towards the end of the night, then that's going to ruin the night because it takes time to get the track back going.
Yeah.
Used to be we could get the track back running in a matter of 2 or 3 hours. Now it takes a bit more effort with the different type of track.
What if Mother Nature just comes by and just drops 8 inches? Just drops
Then
8
we'll
inches
then we're just gonna have to get boats racing probably. Because I have seen that track with water above the guardrails. But that is very rare. That is when the river is really high up.
8 inches was a very high number too.
Yeah,
maybe 4. What
That's a
about
bit
4?
aggressive.
4 inches. 4 inches of rain. I don't think.
I who knows? Like I said, it doesn't look like it's going to be too awful. I'm gonna, as a club member, I'm gonna take my truck down there so we have more vehicles to pull the drags. Hopefully, that way, if there's water there Friday morning, like I said, hopefully it rains early Friday morning to where we can get all the water drug off, where we'll be able to just put the race on like normal.
Yeah. Well, Isaac, what do you think?
No, I've been at Cleaves as well and seen water. I mean, I remember one year for Last Blast, we showed up, there was water on the track, on the flat track, and the entire Friday night while we were running on the hill drags, they were working the track on the flat drags, and by the time Saturday morning rolled around, that track was good to go. So I feel like, I mean, if they're already talking, hey, we've got a plan, and everything else, I feel like there's a really good shot, and they're going to do what they can to get it in. So, and big difference being you're not at a temporary track facility, you're at a permanent track facility, which means the grading and the plan for water is already in place. People know what's going on and that sort of thing. If this was a temporary, like fair track or something like that, I'd say any amount of rain Friday night and it's probably done for Saturday, depending on where it's at. So, but yeah, I feel pretty confident after seeing, Cody's post, Otis's post as well, that, they've got a plan and they plan on executing it, Friday and Saturday. I feel pretty good that they're going to get it in. So
preview of the race itself. Let's start. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this. I'm just gonna. Okay, let's start with this. Your top 3 favorites for the King of the Outlaw class, right off the top of your head. We'll start with. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Actually, I'll go first to give you guys time. And this is if they're going. This is just like my top 3 ranking going into this, like a preseason ranking kind of thing for 295 right. King of the Outlaw. So, I guess I would say number 3, and I'm gonna butcher this, but it's okay. Number 3, I would probably say Cody Trice. Awesome car. He's good on the light. The car can run a number, close, more competitive than it used to with the last setup. So, definitely a good number 3 in my opinion. Number 2, I'm gonna say Kyle Farwick. Kyle Farwick's got a badass car. He can cut the light. He can definitely run the number. They can slow it down. He knows what he's doing. And my number 1, I think I'm gonna pick Adam Rowe if he shows up. Adam Rowe, for sure. Isaac.
That's the whole question, right? Is who's going to show up? I also was thinking the Rose. Again, if they're going to be there, that's right. The whole kind of question there. I'm going to go with so Adam Rowe would be my number 3. Okay. For my number 2, I'm going to go with Joe Gorney. Is it? I don't even know if his car's together. Is it, Damian?
I haven't talked to him this week. I know as of about a month ago they were still waiting on a couple of parts, but them guys will have something together.
Damn, all right, so I'm gonna go with Joe, and then Ryan Wilson's gonna be my number 1. I think Ryan's due maybe a little bit, and they've had some time to work on that car and stuff. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go with those guys. So
all right, I like it. Stir things up. I should have said Joe. Damn it, Joe's my honorable mention. Shit.
You don't get an honorable mention. You said 3.
I know. All right, fine. Joe's my boy. I should have said him. Shout out Joe Gordon. Damian.
I would say Joe, but they've still not made a full pass with that new combination yet. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely have plenty of horsepower to get there. Just got to get it to go A to B yet. But I'd have to go with Ellington for number 3 with their dragster. Kathy's always killer on the tree.
Good pick.
And that car's always in the low 3.0s. They've been trying to get to that 2.9s with that small block. Craig Gum, another consistent low 3.0 dragster. He's always killer on the tree.
Yeah.
And then I got to agree with Billy here on Adam Rowe.
Yeah.
He's defending champion of the class 2 years, I believe 2 years running now.
Oh, I forgot about Craig Gum. I'm sitting here. Man, this is gonna be exciting. Like this season.
Not to mention Burt might show up. He'd be right in that ballpark. Jim Brumbaugh may show up. I know both Jack Trainer's got a new motor in his Alder, and it was already running 3 teens at the end of last year. John Trainer's got a blown and injected dragster. There's all sorts of cars coming out of the woodwork for this year.
I seen Kevin Kabrick is no longer going for whatever reason. But it's all good.
But that's what's good about this class, right? I mean, we've named probably a dozen cars, and I would say any one of those cars has got a chance to, get to the finals. I mean, that's what's great about that class and really nice. So
especially in that the Outlaw Series it has a following that makes it to where so many cars come up to where it is so competitive, and it's awesome to see that, just because that, I mean, like we said before, that's the biggest scene in Top Eliminator 295 Index.
Because we even have guys coming from your region out in Missouri. We have the large number of cars that just come out of the woodwork in Michigan, not to mention all the sport modified cars that could come from Michigan that are right in that ballpark now. Looking at the Wine Time Jeep and Jason Benson are right there in the ballpark. Bull Run Raceway, I mentioned Jim Brumbaugh. You also have the guy who ran Bull Run. I can't remember his name. I don't know if he has his car back together since his crash last year at Lisbon, but he had a twin turbo big block dragster with 4-wheel drive that would run 2.9s like clockwork. And then there's several different dragsters from that area that they're not going to make it to Cleaves, but they've got that Appalachian Cash Days coming up this weekend that they're trying to get a track together since they just lost one of their major tracks.
Right. Well, speaking of the sport mod, I mean, I know we mentioned it last week, but it just became official, according to Caleb. 309 with a 0 by Todd Bilsma. A Sport. Oh, he got the A Sport mod 4-wheel drive as well. Forgot about that.
Yep.
So yeah, and that is official. So congrats to those guys.
Still going after the mile per hour record yet, but that is going to be tricky to get to.
Yeah. So yeah, that Outlaw Series though, I mean, hell, you could be Todd Bilsma might be there and
I would love to
win. That'd be crazy. And
with,
this Outlaw Series brings so much hype, dude.
Is it Willingham that's got the black Colorado that won the King of the Hill, or who was that?
No, that's Jason Vanderwall.
Vanderwall. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a killer car. Heck, that Wine Time Jeep's got a lot of history in general, but it's famous in the mud world.
So yeah, Outlaw Series season opener at Cleaves, Ohio. Hopefully, if it's rained out, we don't know that. If it is, I'll add something.
We blame Billy
into this. And you blame me. That's fine.
Yeah,
because I did say the R word too many times. So yeah, another class I think is kind of awesome is the 350 Index. I wish there was more cars around here to run a 350 Index. I just think it's one of the coolest classes ever. How many usually average in the 350 class, Damian
Um,
or Isaac? Whoever
at
knows.
Cleaves usually around 8 to 14, depending.
8 to 14. Okay.
Yeah, kind of a wide number there, but
No, that's true. I mean, even at Silverback, we've seen anywhere from 6, 7, all the way up to 15. Which is cool because then you can run a nice pro ladder. You get good pairings every round, and stuff like that. Yeah. So the 350 is a great class because you see such a mix of stuff. I mean, dragsters, altereds, bud body Jeeps. I mean, you name it, it's
Earl
all
last
there.
year with an S10. Earl made it down to the finals before breaking the crankshaft in that old blown S10 pickup truck.
Yep.
But yeah, that is usually an exciting class. Tends to be filled with, around here, it's more the naturally aspirated high winder altereds tend to fill that class up.
Mm-hmm.
Like usual final round guy in that class you'll see around here, Rodney Upchurch, maybe the Cole Boys, just various different cars. I know up there in Michigan, usually it's one of the Portangas is down in the money round.
Yep.
Something about 350 index because I almost forgot. Blake Cole or Braden Cole, whoever runs the Aldred. My favorite to win it. Let's go. Shout out to Cole Racing.
All depends if they run the Aldred. I don't know if they're going to or not yet. All depends what kind of mood they're in. Like I said, you'll have them. You'll have Ryan Wilson. You'll have Rodney Upchurch. There's a good number of other cars right offhand. Probably see the likes of Andrew Meyer with his Turbo LS Altered.
Craig Gum off the bottle? No? Yes? No?
Maybe. I think they do run the 350 class with it off the bottle, hitting the brakes quite a bit still.
That's fine. Everybody hits the brakes every once in a while.
I think
4.0 index. I don't know anybody running it. Who do you guys got?
Oh, well, besides myself, I know I'm going to be running the class.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Damian. Yes, almost forgot about that. Oh,
You'll
John
have-
Sorg maybe running the 350 index. Maybe.
I'd say he's probably going to be running 4.0. Usually his car runs around a 380. It's hard to find 310s anywhere you go.
I was going to say, I would see him probably run that 4.0 index class Friday
night. He knows
night.
where the breaking point is in that dragster really well.
Yep.
But Brian Jones, Corey Myers, I think they've got the fuel issues figured out in that orange truck they were chasing all last year. Because he was at the
you know what they found? They actually found a bunch of busted valve springs, Brett said.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Especially with as much, because it sounded like a fuel issue all year. And it was intermittent.
No doubt. No doubt. I would 100% agree. So I don't know if that was in addition to or if that was the main cause, but if they're on a track that's got some bite like they were at the benefit last weekend, that truck was way up in the air. Oh man, that thing was on a mission.
You also have Wayne Gunter will be in the 4.0 class.
Wayne.
Brian Jones possibly going. I don't know that Brian's going, but if he does, that's a perfect car for that 4.0 class.
He was that close to getting it last year when Mother Nature stepped in at Franklin County.
Yep.
Because I was the one who took out the guy he was chasing. Which Carson Combs, I think he's going to be stepping up towards the 350 class this year. They blew up the motor. They were dominant with it everywhere they went last year at the very end of the year. And they're putting about an 800 horse motor in that same 1,600 pound dragster. So that's a hell of a jump in performance.
Hell yeah, it is. That's awesome.
You probably see Ryan Kerr. All depends what mood he's in, whether he'll be in 350 or 4.0. Speaking of 350 class, Austin Bullock, I forgot about him. Turbo LS Bud Body Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the 4.0. There's a large number of cars around here. Anthony Ball, Keith Bourne, Dave Mergenthal just recently he's getting better with his new Jeep. Used to be Dan Sizemore's Jeep. He's got a healthy motor in it. Dave Mergenthal, famous for running in slow class of all things with his big 3/4 ton maroon long bed Chevy.
Yeah, it's gonna
You've
be
seen
awesome
that
weekend. It's gonna be awesome weekend in Cleaves. Hopefully, the Mother Nature doesn't be
Better go start
too
shaking
mean.
sticks at the clouds.
Yeah, hopefully Mother Nature doesn't be too mean to Cleaves. So hopefully they can get that race in.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
We're gonna move over to the Appalachian Outlaws Cash Days, which is also going on this weekend. Myersdale, Pennsylvania, I believe. And
I believe that is right.
They got classes.
Yeah,
it's called. They got their classes. Sand Drag Mafia, and it's Run What You Brung, Super Stock. What does that mean?
probably something more similar to what you'd see in the MRA Super Stock, closer to stock appearing race cars compared to rails and all.
Oh,
But
okay. I see. It's two separate classes. I thought the class name was Sand Drag Mafia. No, it's okay. Run What You Brung and Super Stock. Okay.
but this is part of a pulling event they're doing in that area. They're trying to convince the people that own the property that, hey, sand dragging is going to be a viable option to put on other events throughout the year. There's also some hard pack truck classes there, as well as the sand drag classes. The venue doesn't have a timing system yet, as far as I know. So, like I said, if it's able to be a viable option, the venue may look into buying a timing system for themselves to be able to put on brackets and other types
Are they
of
going
races.
300? Are they going 300 foot here?
That I do not know.
Okay. Well, they got
I don't know either.
They got truck classes too. They got small trucks plus SUV. I'm guessing those are just street cars. And then
that's going to be similar to what you'd see in the KOI truck classes Isaac would run with his Ranger.
Yeah. They got half ton, 3/4 ton gas, 3/4 ton diesel, 1 ton and up. Then they got ATV and UTV classes, 2-stroke ATV 250 and up, 2-stroke ATV 250 and up modified, 4-stroke ATV 400 to 700 stock, 4-stroke ATV 400 to 700 modified, street bikes 5 to 800cc, and then they got 801cc and up, and then they got something called a clunker class, which is a 4-cylinder class.
Sounds like a
What
derby
if I
class.
get the street bike class?
That's a long haul for you, Isaac.
Yeah, that's way too long a haul. Plus,
yeah, it doesn't say no street bike powered dragsters not allowed. So go down there and freaking lay it on the table on them.
I did find out on the first outing with the dragster that apparently open automatic does not mean automatic with gears. It actually means CVT, but that caused a rule change after one round. So,
Boo.
Oh boy, good or bad rule change?
Are we talking? Oh wait, we're doing this right now, aren't we, Isaac? We're doing it right now. Yeah. Okay. KOI.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not upset. I get it 100%, but
you're upset.
Yeah, it was okay. So
you're upset, aren't you?
I'm not.
Don't lie.
I'm not.
We can't lie on this pod.
So they are making it. They made the rules standard CVTs.
Correct. That was the idea. So
what was the class name that you were
open automatic?
Open automatic.
Right.
Huh. Wow.
So, yeah.
Fine print, but then okay. Whatever.
That's okay. I and yeah, I just don't think either one of us we just weren't on the same thought, process. And it wasn't that either one of us were wrong. We just weren't thinking the same thing. So they were very gracious about it. Gave me my money back for the class. I was plenty happy with it.
Now, overall, how did you do with the first outing in the little dragster?
So I won the open outlaw class, beat my kid twice. So
nice.
I will say this. Seriously, win or lose, being in the finals with my kid, with Dylan, that was, I would have been, if that would have been the only thing that went right that night, I would have been 100% okay with it and said, I have accomplished my goal with it. I mean, that was big for me. So, yeah. So
I thought
he
you
actually
were
won the open automatic class on his bike. So, I mean, yeah, that was a potential for another final there that didn't materialize, but that's okay. I mean,
I thought you were a lot more mad about that than you actually were.
Nope.
No.
Now, how was it getting in and out of that car?
I
bet he gets in.
I'm not gonna lie. On basically kind of on the back of my biceps, right above my elbows, where I kind of gotta, suck my shoulders in to slide into, back into the cage, past the front bar. I was a little sore Sunday morning. Not gonna lie, it was on both sides. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So, but no, just learning. It was a great night. The track prep was, was good. They ran a quick show. I mean, yeah, we didn't get home till about 2:45 Sunday morning, but I mean, yeah, we had a little bit of drive to get. What's
KOI
that?
gets so many. KOI has so many classes and so many quads usually.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had a pretty good turnout of diesel trucks as well. So I mean,
yeah,
that's a lot of stuff going down the track. But
yeah,
it went really well. A couple learning curve things with the car, but nothing with a little change that we can't remedy a little bit. So overall, I would say A+ on the first outing.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Now we're going to see you in Michigan for the Outlaw Series race with it.
No.
Let the boy loose.
Probably not.
Wrong race. I was thinking wrong one. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing that weekend. Never mind.
So, no, to be honest, probably the first time my car will see Silverback will be not till the Larry Wagner shootout in August. So,
wow. That's okay, but I get it, man.
That's what comes with, I mean, I work like every third Saturday during the summertime. So, I mean, and like we discussed kind of off air, the later this planting thing goes, the more compacted up my summer gets, which starts to really get into picking and choosing, what we're doing and what we're able to do and that sort of thing.
Worst case, we'll see you at last blast.
Yeah, like I said, that kind of ties into it. There's a lot more racing that goes on in the fall time than there is in the summer, in my opinion.
That's true, man.
Anyway, so
especially up here,
even if you don't hit a lot of races in the summer, save that vacation for the fall because that's really when it goes down. Side note: Appalachian Outlaws race is 200 feet.
Okay.
200 feet.
Hey, folks! This episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt, coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rogie and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
Hey, real quick, before it's too late, you're listening to this on Friday. We race at Thunder Valley this weekend. It's our season opener, and the weather looks good enough to where I think we're gonna get it in. And
there we go.
The only reason I'm talking about Thunder Valley right now is because, for one, I'm not going to Panama anymore, obviously, because they announced today on Tuesday, May 14th, that
real early in the week.
The
They
race,
announced.
thank
Yeah.
God. And they postponed the race, and so we're racing at Thunder Valley, and I am putting together a good sized pot for the kids to split between peewees and juniors. And right now our pot total is at like 440 $450,
Nice.
something like that. And that will be 225 for each kids class. If you want to donate to it, reach out. I'll plug my Cash App right here. And if you want to donate to the kids pot for Thunder Valley Sand Drags on Saturday, May 18th, go ahead and do that. And if it's past Saturday, May 18th, you can just go ahead and send me some money anyway, and I'll save it for the next kids race. If you send some money, I might send you a shirt.
There you go.
Well, there's
we
always
go.
the Sheltons race you got coming up too.
Yes, I have a race to Sheltons coming up. Thank you, Damian.
Did that get postponed till June now?
The PSDA race did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
the PSDA race got postponed to June, but my race at Shelton's, well, I shouldn't say just mine, because I gotta give a shout out to my sponsors who are helping me out with that. So we have Team Cole Racing. They are sponsoring the 40, 350, and 295 index classes. So thank you, Brandy, Blake, and Braden. And then Southern Power Sports Drag Racing Series is sponsoring the 450 index class. Sponsoring the bracket classes is Hayes Design and Fab and Hayes Trowel and Dolly. And then sponsoring the kids classes is National Junior Dirt Drags. The date is May 31st, May 31st and June 1st. Friday, we are starting test and tune at noon to 5:30 p.m. And then Friday we'll have the 295 index qualifying. A first round of it. We'll have 2 rounds of it actually on Friday, and then we'll run out the trophy bracket and 450 index bracket that night. Saturday we'll run the kids class, and then we'll have time trials for the money bracket, 40 index, and 350 index. 295 class we'll have one more qualifying pass, and then we'll run out all those classes until they're done. So, 295 class, $150, 100% payback. 350 class, $70 entry fee, 80% payback. 40 class, $50 entry, 80% payback. 450 class, $40 entry, 80% payback. Bracket classes Friday is $30 entry. It's a trophy payout. Saturday's bracket race is a $40 entry and 80% payback. So there you go. Be there.
Here's hoping it's a good one for you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, well, next weekend we got the Challenge in the Hills Memorial Day weekend. We've got, and just to give a list of stuff we've got going on next weekend, Franklin County Four-Wheeler season opener is next weekend. Silverback Offroad season opener next weekend for the drag strip. You said Atoka is racing next weekend, Billy?
I did.
Okay, Atoka is racing next weekend. And then, like I said, Challenge in the Hills. Probably one of the more well-known events from West Virginia. They are having it's Parsons, West Virginia. They're having their big season opener / their big annual race next weekend. They do index classes. Everyone makes time pass. You fall into a certain class. I don't know the exact splits on the classes, but everyone in those classes will race with that breakout in mind. The winner will go into their top eliminator bracket, and then the winner of that is the winner of the whole shebang. And every car from their unlimited class, which the guy who owned Bull Run Raceway, his twin turbo dragster last year was the fastest car on the property, and he currently holds the track record there, which, due to it being an old East Coast four-wheel drive area, they hold four-wheel drive as a major importance in all their cars there. But you'll also see many Outlaw Pro Stock, Super Stocks, MRA regulars, West Virginia Mud Bog regulars, all there. Track prep can be a little hairy sometimes, but that just goes into their old school way of thinking, because on the flyer it says rain, snow, or shine. They don't care. It comes time to race, you better be ready no matter what that track condition is going to be. So they tend to put on a show. I don't know if Hillbilly Proud is going to be there, as recently the man behind Hillbilly Proud Productions had developed Parkinson's disease. I know they're having a benefit mud run out in West Virginia for him, but he has been a major part of the dirt and sand community, especially out of the West Virginia area, for a long time.
Yeah, shout out to Keith. Did some of the very early Pro Truck Nationals videos and stuff, and shout out to those guys.
But yeah, challenging the hills. Looking forward to seeing more. It's a bucket list race for me. I would love to go, but I got a race local here, so we'll be running at Brookville next weekend. Challenging the hills. They've also got on Sunday a mud bog that literally the shutdown is about 200 foot, and then it veers left, or you go straight into the river. But it is an old school bog. Take your old Ranger there, Isaac. Do the bog pit.
Atoka has a pit decorating contest. The theme is Heartland, Americana, red, white, and blue, and a bonus is a cartoon theme. They've always done stuff. They've always done stuff like that. If you go to their Facebook page, you can see a bunch of videos of their past races. Like they always go live for their quads. Here's one for first round Pro 1 cars of the last race just 3 days ago. We'll have to get Derek on here too to talk about the results from that. I might do that in person next week. I'm trying to find more information about the Heartland Nationals. I know the running top eliminator, as Derek said a few weeks ago, they're expecting a pretty good turnout from the West Coast. So that's awesome to hear. Pro 1 cars, they've been getting a lot of Pro 1 cars, which is 450 and faster bracket class with the Pro Light. And they've been averaging about like 20, 22 in the class.
Nice class.
And yeah, it's real nice. Friday night, they're running a 470 and faster Pro 1 car class. I don't know why they call it that. They can just call it a 470 and faster bracket race. But I assume it has a Pro Light. And then they made a post just for the Pro 1 cars and telling them what classes they can run. They're hoping to have over 32 Pro 1 cars in the class for Sunday. Saturday, they can run the index classes. They also have a trophy race. And then Sunday, they have their big money Pro 1 cars race. Trying to find. They had $500 added money to Pro 1 cars on top of the 100% payout. So that's pretty good. It's a $100 entry fee too. So 100% payback with a $100 entry fee, $500 added already. So if you haven't thought about anywhere to go racing that next weekend and you're close to Atoka, Oklahoma, and you got a car that runs 450 or faster, that may be the place for you to go. 3-day race. 3-day race. They race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They got a ton of index classes. Here it is. Okay. You got a ton of information on here. I will actually be there. I forgot to mention that. I will actually be there with our new camera. I'm excited about that thing. Test and tune on Friday from 12 to 5 p.m. Station lanes close at 4:30. Sign-ins end at 5. And what they're doing on Friday night is the 470 and faster bracket race, Pro Tree. They're doing a $50 buyback for that round too. Wow. For that class too.
Nice.
But it says the buyback money will go to the track. So they have until 5 minutes after the last pair of cars go down the track for the first round of the buyback. So all the classes they're running: top eliminator, unlimited ATV, top alcohol, Pro 1 cars, Pro 2 cars, Pro 1 quads, Pro 2 quads, Pro 3 quads, juniors, peewees. They're doing 350 index cars and quads, 380 index cars and quads, 40 index cars and quads. They're running a sport comp cars class, which is a trophy class, and they're doing a sport quads class, which is a trophy race also. They got classes for everybody. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pro 1, the class I'll be competing in, Pro 3 quads with my mini bike, 6.0 and slower. I want to tear it up. On
Nice.
This machine right here. The Stallion. Look at it. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, Isaac, let's set up right now. I call you out to a grudge race at the Larry Wagner race. My mini bike against you in your car.
All right. That sounds reasonable.
Bet.
Now
Are we
heads
running on,
up
like,
or
Friday night then?
Whenever you want it.
All right.
We can run with the kids too. I don't care.
Ooh. I may have to find me a kid for that weekend. So
really should be about it for the week, I think. We'll come back next week with some more of the stuff coming up down the line.
yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's anything for Silverback.
Greens Raceway, not the North Carolina one, but the Michigan one. They're having a test and tune this weekend, which would be the 18th of May coming up as well. So
Probably see a gambler's race there.
more than likely.
There's another track on the bucket list of ones I'd love to check out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what we can for a Silverback real quick. Is it just same old song and dance opening weekend, usual classes?
I would believe so. Yeah. I haven't seen anything any different than, a regular points race for that weekend. So
Are they running top eliminator?
it's a good question. I don't know.
On the note of points up there, who do you see coming out of the first race with the lead up there?
Kalwanmar.
He apparently called just about everyone out there that last time he was on, didn't he?
I call out K-Dub as well for the Larry Wagner race. Calling everybody. I want all the smoke.
Okay, so we're going to have to get you up against John Sorgan, too.
Oh, yeah, I already called him out. It's a done deal. Okay, I found one. Okay, here it is. Sand Invitationals, May 24th and 25th. Friday, test and tune, 12 p.m. Racing starts at, it's at 8 p.m.?
Could be.
Wow, okay. They got 350 index, an open bracket, and top eliminator qualifying. They are running top eliminator.
There we go.
So there you go. Yeah. Saturday.
Up in Michigan, they get the track prep done quick.
They do. Pee-wees and junior. Yeah, we posted a video of John Sorg doing the track prep for Michigan. Actually, it's not actually that fast. I sped it up, and I should have spread it apart a little more because he had more details in there, and I sped right through it. So my bad, John. But yeah, still cool. Pee-wees and juniors, 10 a.m. on Saturday for the Sand Invitationals. Time trial start at 1 p.m. Racing starts shortly after. They got comp, ATV, Pro Comp, Pro Index, Pro Truck. Oh, they're running Pro Truck at this?
Yeah, they run Pro Truck all
year.
They run Pro Truck all the time?
Yeah, but it's just a regular Pro Truck class, and they don't run Pro Truck Elite.
Oh, okay.
Those are only PTN weekends.
What is Open Modified?
I think basically open sportsman tree bracket class.
Gotcha.
Any dial in because they're normally a lot of the classes up there, they tend to put a dial in limit at the slow end because a lot of people up there don't like to sit and wait, which doesn't bother me a bit, but that's what I'm used to down here.
You're gonna be sitting waiting on me, Damian.
I ain't racing a mini bike. No
yes,
offense.
you are. You're racing against me. If we go to Michigan if you go to Michigan, I go to Michigan, we both enter Open Modified. We are racing against each other. I'm personally calling you out if that happens. And I will crush you.
Who thinks there should be first round call outs in your bracket classes?
I do, because I'm gonna do
Um,
it. I'm gonna do it so often this year. It's gonna be insane.
at Franklin County for their big money race, which instead of doing the normal 4-lane chip draw, they do a sort of like a no prep chip draw every round.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
dial in when you you pull your chips. Every eighth pair they work the track, so you know by what number you are when you are in the running order. So you dial according to the track you think you're going to get.
Sure.
And before everything starts, you can try and call people out.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I'm going to be calling people out. If we race this Saturday at Thunder Valley, I'm calling people out in Pro 2. I'm doing it. I don't care.
And here we go.
I am. Yeah. I'm
gonna beat up on them sportsman dragsters.
Yeah. No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
No.
I might call out K-Brick. Who knows? I know he ain't scared of racing.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane Orogi and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.
Hey, folks, we're back with just myself and Caleb Mings. And we're going to talk about Raptor Rally. And Caleb has some information for us. Caleb, what you got? What do you got about Raptor Rally that's happening? Oh, and shout out to Brandon and Julie Moore they're putting on the event. I'm pretty sure, right? Brandon is.
Yeah,
also?
they're partly helping. I think Matt McCormick is also working with it. There's a whole group of people behind Raptor Rally as an organization. Obviously, we're just going to focus on the sand drag portion of it. They got a whole bunch of deals with vendors and rides and all sort of stuff, but we don't care about that. So it's actually kicking off tomorrow. We're recording this May 15th, Wednesday. So Thursday, they're kicking it off. 4 lanes, folks. 4 lanes at North Bend, Oregon for Raptor Rally. They're going to do kind of like an open test and tune to kick off the day. Then they're going to do both an ATV and a UTV bracket class. So everybody with that, they're going to get 1 pass to do their dial-in, and then it's going to go basically round robin after that. They're going to have a payout with that, trophies for first and second. After they wrap that up, they're going to go into a pro ATV heads up class. So I believe that's just, they're kind of leaving that open ended. It's ran what you brung, 50% payout on that. Same sort of deal for the UTV classes. So they're going to have on Thursday some bracket and some heads up. And then they're going to do their famous nighttime 4-lane wide test and tune grudge racing basically till people get tired of it. So that's all day 1. What do you think of we've seen a couple 4-lane races before, Billy?
Yeah, we've been to Sand Wars, and I went our first time covering it. I went, and then our second time covering it, you went. The 4 wide's cool. They're bracket racing a 4 wide.
They so actually I don't know if they are doing 4 wide on the bracket. I don't know. Because I know everything's timed, but I don't know how they would actually do the bracket racing timed.
That would be awesome.
4 lanes. Now that would be sick. I think that they are doing that as 2 lanes, so they'll like prep 2 lanes and do the other. But the test and tune, that's all going to be timed. So I think they got just 2 tree setups out there, link them all together. People get some time slips and stuff.
Well, cool. Well, hopefully, if y'all figure out some way to bracket race in sand drags 4 wide, let us know. I would love.
Yeah, we definitely want to try that.
If y'all been doing that for years, we should have been out to Raptor Rally.
Absolutely. So that's just day 1. They got more days of racing. Friday they're doing test and tune again.
Okay.
They're doing another pro ATV heads up class. Then they're doing the Raptor King heads up. So that's only Raptors, which makes sense, right? It's Raptor Rally. Then they're doing.
Matt McCormick gonna just go and just like piss people off again?
He may. I don't know. We're gonna see probably a lot of Cuervo Racing folks showing up for that, I think.
Okay.
So Jackie and
Sound
Lacey,
clever.
I'm sure we'll be giving him run for his money. Kids bracket as well. So they're doing free entry for the kids bracket. We were
That's
talking
awesome.
about, yeah, we were talking about last week, a $5 entry for your kids. This is free, folks. So get those kids out there.
Yeah, get every kid in where Oregon?
Oregon, North Bend,
Oregon.
Oregon,
Okay, Oregon. All the kids in Oregon, Washington. Get them there. They're racing for free.
for
Oh,
free. They're going
let
to
'em
get
race.
trophies
That's
first and
awesome.
second. They're doing it kids 14 and under. So that's basically the only criteria, 14 and under. Free entry. Ba-bam.
Boom.
So, and then Friday, 4 wide green light drags. That may be what it is that their normal test and tune and like their actual bracket race classes, that may be 2 lanes, and then they're just doing green light for 4 wide, which makes sense. That's kind of how Sand Wars was done, you know. So
I liked it a lot better
when you thought
whenever
it was
the
4 wide bracket
possibility of
racing.
bracket racing was there. Yes, I did.
I
That was
don't,
the fun.
it's hard enough to do 2 lanes and do the mental math. I don't want to do that with 4. Saturday is going to be their last day of racing. They're going to have more testing in the morning. They're going to do a 425cc class, and that is going to be heads up, no bar. Okay, so no bar 425. That's similar to what a lot of West Coast do. They do a 421 class, and that is going to be run best 2 out of 3. So very similar to a lot of the kind of outlaw style racing. They're doing a King of the Hill, which is basically an unlimited no bar heads up class, best 2 out of 3, 2K to win.
Ooh. Guaranteed money?
Guaranteed money, 2K to win.
There you
Second
go.
place, not going to be too shabby, $500.
Yeah.
So, even taking second place out of there for King of the Hill, which it's not going to be on a hill, but and then they're going to do UTV Wars, which they're doing as a heads up class again. 50% payback on the entries.
Just all
And
UTVs?
all UTVs for that. Yep.
Really?
So they said they're going to do 2 dial-in passes, just testing 2 because it's going to be a heads up class for that. And then Saturday, they are ending it out again with the green light 4 wide drags. And that they're actually going to do that as a free entry. Okay. So all you have to do is you need to have a helmet, sign the waiver, or if you have a test and tune bracelet from previously any other test and tune sessions, you're automatically good to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I know that's one of the cool things that a lot of people like with that race. 4 wide, it's fun. So gonna be a good time out there in Oregon.
Yeah, make sure you got that helmet so you can get your picture taken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of which, obviously Brandon and Julie out there with Dirt and Dunes, so gonna be getting some killer photos.
Shout out Dirt and Dunes.
Another cool thing that just happened.
Oh.
So last weekend,
Mm.
I know we were talking about a bunch of races that just happened. Silverback,
Oh.
they had their side-by-side blog
They
race
did.
out there.
They did.
And some cool stuff. I know the Mamba Racing team, they went out there, they won the Outlaw class, ran a 331. 331. Yeah, that's right.
That's
In
awesome.
their double A UTV car.
A 331 in Michigan.
In Michigan.
In sand.
Pure sand. Real sand.
It's insane.
So that's really cool for them. And I know that
They did
only
push the
gonna get
car
quicker.
into the lights though. I just wanted
Well, yeah,
they
I
didn't-
know. I mean, we're gonna have people get
Yeah.
upset with that, and
I just wanted to mention that. We're not glossing over that fact. We did notice that.
That's maybe a discussion for a future episode.
Maybe. Or
We'll
now.
But so basically they do like a big bracket class, but then they do an outlaw class, just everybody. So Ryan won that. But we had a cool deal. The EUTV WSDN record, which is a 43 millimeter turbo limit, was reset by Michael Reed. Just barely broke over the previous record. 3:75.0 is the new time for that class. And the Batmobile. Yes, definitely one of the crowd favorites there for sure. So pretty cool. Congrats to Michael. We're gonna have that get posted up here pretty soon, along with another record that we spoke on last week with Todd Bilsma in the A Sport Modified and A Sport 4-wheel drive records as well. So Michigan, don't sleep on it. It may be sand, but it can still be fast.
Michigan fast now. Is that crazy? They've always been fast though, so more moisture than most sand tracks though. Also,
Oh, for sure. I would
Yeah.
I would argue that sand tracks, like pure sand tracks, they are the fastest. Well, we'll say they're the
I
fastest
don't know about
active.
that.
The fastest active.
Yeah, we'll see.
What track are you thinking?
What do you think? Well, faster mile per hour wise, yes. Quicker ET wise, I'll disagree.
What are you thinking?
As into what?
Well,
Like, what's
compared to other pure sand tracks.
Oh, is that? I thought you were just saying pure. Okay.
No,
I
not
thought you
in
were saying.
general.
Okay. Never mind. Yes. When it comes to sand tracks in the country, maybe in the world, like yeah, it's Michigan all day.
Yeah. The only track that I think came close to it, that I liked personally, maybe some of the old timers can bring up some slips on it, was Laughlin at the Avi.
Oh yeah, I've never been there, so I couldn't
That
even
was
say
that was before the Prim days, Billy. So that's where the big national events happened.
I will say if Atoka wasn't so damn hot and they could keep the moisture in that track, that could be a good one because they got that red sand. It's not
Yeah.
like that beachy kind of stuff. But in Winoka, where America's Oasis is, we haven't forgot about America's Oasis. They're racing. Oh, they're actually racing. They're racing right now and tomorrow as well. So there you go. But no, they're sand, and they're working on making the proper adjustments they need to do to be a great sand drag racing track. So, I think they're doing anything they can to step up to the challenge. It's pretty cool.
For sure.
But I bring that up because I think they can add more moisture to that more beachy sand kind of stuff. It's just dune sand, you know what I mean? It's not like the red sand in Oklahoma, as I like to say, or even it's not just it doesn't hold as much the moisture in Michigan.
It's not as tacky.
Right. I mean the Michigan's track holds so much more moisture and the other tracks that are sand don't. And that makes it.
And you know what? I wonder if part of that has to do with the fact that Michigan has been doing that for so long, and maybe like the ground has kind of grown accustomed to that. I don't know how far the water table is underneath that dirt.
I know it's very hard for Michigan. Even though the track is like down and like kind of like the valley thing, because the hills is where everybody sits and parks at, and they look down on the track and stuff. I mean, it's hard for Michigan to rain out. So like, whenever they get water, I don't think they're too upset unless it tremendously downpours. But like, even if it's just like a quote unquote just regular downpour, then sometimes they're fine. Like
they're more worried about people in the pits than they are about the track.
Yeah, our first time going to Michigan, me and Cody got there, and we woke up after driving. We got there Thursday night. Woke up Friday morning. They had water in the lanes, but it was just a matter of hours, a couple hours before it was cleaned up, and they were running on time. So
yeah,
Michigan's track can hold pretty good amount of water. So can Atoka's too. But it's just that track's water just like goes away so fast. The track's basically on top of the hill, so everything just like drains away. And plus, it's just so hot, and
yeah, it's always hot there, hot and muggy.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. You got lost.
It's not gonna be as hot as the rescheduled MRA event though. That's gonna be fun being in Florida in August.
as we mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we are very excited, very, 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 very excited to announce that we have a full-time season sponsor for race coverages, and that is the one and only Racing in the Dirt. Parts, equipment, and apparel for all your off-road and competition needs. You can check them out, racinginthedirt.com. And man, they do so many great things for the sport of sand and mud racing, dirt drag racing, and having them support us in our journey and our goal to basically bring more attention to sand drag racing and now mud and dirt drag racing. It's going to be awesome to start working with them more often. And Caleb, I think it's gonna help us go where our goals are headed towards, and we really appreciate Scott and Shane. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Kudos to Scott and Shane. Stoked to have them on board as a full time. Obviously, we've been mentioning them for several weeks here on the podcast, and super cool to have them step up and get on there for the full time season sponsorship. And it's going to put us, we're definitely going to scratch their backs with a little bit more of the mud coverage. We've obviously dabbled in a couple different events, San Antonio Mud Drags, Brazoria, but we're going to be doing a little bit more on the mud scene and dirt scene as well. Obviously there's a lot of crossover between all that and the O'Rourke family racing the dirt. They have cars doing everything. All the chassis they've done have been all over the sport. Tires and wheel combos that they put together. So once again, yeah, hit them up, racinginthedirt.com for all of your go fast off-road drag racing needs.
And you can also give them a call at 920-693-2000. 920-693-2000. And you can also email them at scott@racinginthedirt.com. That's scott@racinginthedirt.com, located in Cleveland, Wisconsin. They got over 30 years of experience selling only quality brands: Interco, Molinari, Real, Gearbox, Yukon, RJS, Moser, Simpson, Stroud, Willwood, MSD, AFCO, FTI, Good Vibrations, and King. So, they only deal with the best. So we really appreciate you, Racing in the Dirt, for hopping on board and supporting World Sand Drag News. And best believe we're covering some MRA races this year, without a doubt. Isaac will be at the Cook Station, Missouri race on June 15th weekend. So that will actually be our first time covering an MRA race, and it'll be Isaac. Let's go.
Let's go, Isaac.
You. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this episode. On behalf of myself, Caleb Mings, Damian Bowers, and Isaac Dehaan, I am Billy Teters. We will see you guys next week with some race results from this coming weekend's races and more previews for races coming up in a few weeks. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Shout out to Racing in the Dirt.
Hey, folks, this episode of Paddle Talk brought to you by Racing in the Dirt, coming out of Wisconsin. Scott and Shane O'Rourke and the crew up there, your source for all kinds of good stuff. They are real wheel dealers. They are also scat track dealers. They can do cut tires, everything from ground up chassis builds to all your supplies needed to get that car together in the last couple weeks here for racing season. Check them out on the internet, racinginthedirt.com, on Facebook. You can find them or get a hold of them directly.